guys? It's Dion here from Breaksword. I came top 16 at Queensland States this year with Mitsurugi Fiendsmith. I think the deck was really good. I didn't really want to play the Rise Wheel cards because I just think that I wanted to play a bit more hand trap to kind of answer. Format's really new, so yeah, I just wanted to answer as much as possible. 43 in main. I think it was really solid. I didn't really experience too much bricks, and let's get into the deck profile. So to start off, we start off with 3 Habakiri. This card's really sick. Is insane support for the deck. You get to special something from deck and then tribute it, and then all of the Mitsurugi main deck monsters get to activate their effects on normal, special summon, or tribute. So it's just a custom card. Unfortunately, once per duel, which a lot of people kept forgetting for some reason, but is the reason why the whole deck works even better than it already did. And it's kind of a really good bridge from the Fiendsmith engine into the Mitsurugi engine. And I'll show you more of the bridge later. But yeah, this card is insane. I put in work for sure. Now we have 1 and 2, Futsu and Ame. Only one Ame was needed. I never missed it. It never got bestialed, if I recall. I did have an occasion where the second name might have mattered, but I ended up just adding. Just out resourcing him, and I didn't need to summon this back anyway. But yeah, this card is hand control. This card is Raigeki. This card, it does the standard tribute stuff that the rituals do. And this card, honestly, I summoned it maybe like 3 times, but every time it came up, I won the game because IP Masquerena plus this card was custom. Once per chain duelist, not once per turn. Sweet. And then we have 1 Saji, 2 of the new fella, and 1 of this one. So this one's normally the one that you start with. It adds any spell trap. Normally people only opt for 1 of this guy. He's the Stratos of the deck, but I determined that I wanted more names to add off of the ritual tribute effects, and it's more consistent with more normal summons and more names. I wanted to see Habakiri as much as possible. I wanted to see combo as much as possible. That does kind of counter my philosophy with playing around Droll, but honestly, it was more of a blessing to have this card in deck as tribute fodder than it was to not include the second one. This card is custom. It just adds back the ritual. If your Mitsurugi cards get banished or sent to grave, you can recur and recur and recur eternally. You can just keep... There's one game where I kept recurring prayers and I just didn't die because I kept summoning my boss monsters over and over and over again. Yeah, cool. This engine's sweet. I love this deck.
Did we miss Nightsword Serpent?
No, I didn't miss Nightsword Serpent. Nightsword Serpent was not necessary. I think, in my opinion, that card is too bricky. If I see it, I'd rather see the card that lets me start my combo than see the card that just kind of sits there. That's why I played that. Standard, 3 prayers, 2 ritual. I was actually only on 1 of this at the start of the week, but when we got to this build, I feel it's super weird. Like seeing this in my opening hand and then getting to the rest of the combo made me feel super secure. So I might just keep this at 2. A lot of decks are playing this at just 1. But yeah, no, this card's custom. It's branded fusion with unfortunately extra steps. It's not once per turn on the card because you have the summon from hand and summon from deck effects. But you are required to have, if you want to summon from hand, you are required to have the ritual in hand, and if you want to summon from deck, you need to have enough tributes on hand or field. So it's you got to work around it, but this is a really, really good card. If there was occasions where I would remove my enemy Mitsurugi's ritual from graveyard to stop their combo and they just died, so that card's good. And this card's custom. I don't know why this is a common. This is Rhoda, a quick effect Rhoda, as well as a monster reborn. You actually don't have to resolve both effects if you tribute a reptile. You can choose to do 1, you can choose to do 2. I believe you can also choose to do none. Correct me on that if I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've read the card properly, but no, these cards are good, and I believe that is the Mitsurugi engine. Very, very concise, nothing too fancy. Really, really solid. And then probably my favorite engine in the game is the Fiendsmith engine. So we have 3 engraver. Obviously, this is standard. You need 3. You can't play. I mean, feasibly, you can't play. You can't really play 2. I've seen some lists do that. But yeah, again, I want to see combo as much as possible. This and your 3 copies of Tract, all 1 card combo. Tract is the better one because this card can get stopped by. It stops your combo if you get drolled here, but if this gets drolled, you can still make like Caesar and and the trap engrave. So these cards were insane. I got they help in the grind game. They help me win. I don't know. These cards are insane. I love these cards, as you can tell. And then we got the 1/1. I mean, these are needed. The amount of times this came up to body block as well as send the trap to grave. And honestly, when I have a lot of names in grave and I just hard draw this, is kind of insane because I just make sequence and I win the game. Like my Futsu would have summoned a lot of bodies back from grave. I then normal summon this, make sequence, and then just body him. These cards are cooked. I love them. And then the trap. Like I said, the trap is interruption. I was thinking of playing a list where we didn't play the trap. It seemed a little unnecessary because I just wanted to not open as many bricks, but I got talked off the cliff. I think this actually put in more work than if I didn't have it. I was willing to play a little bit more mid range, so 43 with this card is perfect. Then just your hand traps. You got 3 Ash. Obviously the best hand trap in the game. It's never going to be not relevant, and it's pretty balanced card. You can Ash the Fiendsmith trap. You can Ash the Tract. You can Ash the Habakiri. You can Ash a lot of things. Card's great. I think it's going to be really key in the upcoming format. I was on 3 Paralia, 3 Foolish. 6 Chummies, pretty safely. I felt super comfortable with this. Even the games where I feasibly open this going first, honestly, sometimes it's just better just to make Requiem pass, because these cards just put in so much advantage that your opponent wants to stop playing. Then it'll eventually draw me into parts of my hand trap suite that I was playing that just stops my opponent hard. I believe I was on 19 hand traps in the main at the end of it all. So, no, yeah, these cards are custom. They just help you push. We got 3 draw. This was a bit contentious if I wanted to main this. I made a meta call where I called that Mitsurugi was going to be really dominant and just really just everywhere. Weirdly in my area, Rogue is also something to consider. So this just stops that. Stops all the nonsense. Kind of stops their turn, lets me play. Basically, I just want to try and win as much as possible, but in the first turn. But the grind in this deck, even through stuff like this, is crazy. But yeah, I feel it's necessary in the main. I think I'm going to play it in the main in future as well. This was a weird one. Again, I made another medical. It was the Mitsurugi. This is largely copying off of some decks that have been performing really well in like your Europe kind of areas. This was their tech, but honestly, this came up more than it didn't. There was one game where I resolved both. They removed Druis Worm, and then Magnamut can add back from grave, and I don't play any other dragons in main. So yeah, these cards are good. Cool. This card's insane against the mirror as well. It's really comfortable having a full board set up and you just have this as backup, and then just breaking a board, like breaking detonators. Sometimes when you interrupt them enough, like with Droll, the Ryzeal opponent doesn't have the field spell, so you just kill them with this one card. On their detonator, you just battle phase, Centigrave, and they can't do anything. The detonator does come back, but it just means that you have to answer less interactions. So these cards are cool. We have 2 Nibiru. I was on 3. made a decision that I would prefer to play one of the other cards in my main deck. I only have four cards left, but Nibiru is great. Normally in a deck that I would play, I wouldn't keep these in going first, but in this particular deck, being able to use this card, tribute my Mitsus, and then have them come back. Amino, Murakumo does stuff like Raigeki, and then Futsu just continues playing. This card's awesome. I didn't feel like I needed 3. I didn't want to brick on 3 as well. Like the once per turn stuff, it does come up. So, Nib's great. Not entirely sure if I'm going to be keeping it at 2 or even in the main, but I think it's pretty necessary. Last hand trap is Imperm. Just custom hand trap. Just answers so much. Answers Caesar. Answers Amino Murakumo's negate effect. You just attempt to Imperm the enemy Amino. They say negate, and you just don't use any more cards. So you kind of just control them in that way. Malice, you can 1-for-1 with Echoed Talker. Like they don't activate the Echoed Talker effect, or they do to send a Malice card to grave. This never really came up where I was locked out of playing it because I have a Nib on board or I have a Bishy on board. It just kind of went really well. So I don't know if I was too fortunate on that one, but yeah, this is great. And then Call By. This was tactics, but my mentality is: would I rather play as much as possible, or would I rather punish my opponent for letting me not play when I'm under draw? So I'd prefer to play as much as possible. So Call By was the answer. So card's great. We go to the extra deck first. Just your standard Fiendsmith package: Link 1, Bridge, Link 2, Link 3, Necroquip, Desiree. This engine's custom. The Fiendsmith engines help you in grind. They help you establish a really, really strong board. And part of the line that lets you one card from Tract or Engraver into the Mitsurugi line utilizes this engine. So Desiree won me a lot of games, a lot of piercing damage with Agnum Day equipped, a lot of negates. It's just, technically is a win more, but it's great. This engine's awesome. Was also playing, let me see here, Dark, IP, SP. Dark's part of the line that lets you get into the Mitsurugi cards. Honestly, it did come up. I summoned my opponent's Murakumo, and I Raigeki'd him with his own card. It was very, very funny. IP is cool. A lot of the time, my opponent Mitsurugi players would summon Murakumo and attempt to Raigeki me, and I'd chain this, summon this, and then I would SP, target the Murakumo to remove it, so I don't have to think about it for the rest of the turn, because they need one turn to add it back with Kusanagi. So yeah, his cards were great. And then Abel, just adds back your Murakumo, adds back your summons back your Murakumo, summons back your IP. This card's sweet. It's awesome. You had your King of the Feral Imps and your DDD. Feral Imps was great. You only really summon it during the line where you one card tracked into Mitsurugi, and this one, honestly, I didn't go into this one much. I went into it maybe twice. It was relevant, mind you. The opponent was playing Malice, I believe, and my hand got drolled, so I just made this, and it was enough. I don't know what to say. This card's been relevant for a while. It's awesome. Last 2 cards for the line is this and this. This you basically never use its effect. It's never come up for me. You just summon it off of Lacrima with sequence equipped. Lacrima sequence equipped, and then Dark on the field, Dark and then sequence into this. Then you have 2/4s to make the King of the Feral Imps. This comes up. Sometimes you just want to go into the 1-card line to bait the Mitsurugi. To bait your opponent into interacting with you, and then you play your Mitsurugi cards anyway. If they do that, you can still get to this and then use its effect to additional normal summon, like a Mitsurugi card that you already had in hand, but that never came up. You normally just use this to banish and then add the Lacrim back just to continue playing. Great card. And then Chaos Angel. I had a discussion with one of my boys whether or not I should be playing this or I should be playing Dynamondo. Honestly, it's 50-50, but the amount of games that this won me just by summoning Light Dark and then slamming this, and only this, and the amount of times my Mitsurugi Ryzeal opponents just scooped. I don't know why. Like I don't know why they don't have an out for this, but it was very funny. You could feasibly just like make Agnum Day in the Fiendsmith variant, but I don't know. Yeah, it was great. We're on to the side. 3 Lancia. Necessary because of Malice. I don't know what to tell you. This card put in work, stopped them, forced them to go into lines where that played into like Droll or Nib, and then they couldn't recover from there. Custom card. You have 3 Meows. Again, anti-Malice. I honestly built this extra deck. A lot of it is to say anti-Malice because I just hate playing against that deck. It's just plays and plays and plays. And even in the Mitsurugi mirror match, this card comes up. This card's awesome. If you're not on this and you're not valuing this, you should be. DD Crow. DD Crow was another meta call I made. It's I thought the Mitsurugi would be the most represented, and it was. So DD Crow removes the ritual spell that the Kusanagi is attempting to add back. It removes Murakumo that's trying to summon back. It can remove Fiendsmith cards. It removes so much. Just play this card. There was a time as well where I had my mate who was playing Murmur Atlantean, and this would have come up if I targeted the cost that they send with their card effects so that they don't resolve. So that was good. Tactics. Yeah, I mean, if you're not playing this in main, you should be playing this inside. It's just a custom card. It's a one-of. It's kind of just no matter if you see it, it's going to go well. Because hand traps are the name of the game, I think, in this format. I didn't really experience or see any decks that were playing too many breakers. So yeah, this card's good. 2 Thrust. Thrust to search out the remainder of what's in my side deck as well as this. You can set this if you can't get to it with the Mitsurugi engine as a way. I normally only really like playing this if the engine that you're playing it with has this kind of stuff, or if the format needs something like Lightning Storm or Duster. Tactics Talent's also insane, so there you go. And then the last 2, Lightning Storm, Duster. Honestly, I didn't really side these in all that much, so these could be anything else, but I wanted to be super aware that Odeon is a deck that I need to respect sometimes. I want to trade 1-for-1 into Mitsu Rise for the field spell. I want to, board wipe players that are greedy. These cards are really, really good. Unfortunately, I think I might just cut the Lightning Storm, keep the Duster in, maybe put in a third Thrust or something else. But yeah, these everything in the side came up. Even Lightning Storm, Duster came up once each. So I'm happy with what I played. Yep.
Any final thoughts? Any ideas on how it all treated you overall?
No, deck was really great. It's a really intuitive deck to play once you know the line. It's really strong, has a lot of recursion, plays into a lot of stuff. You'd think that it wouldn't play really well into the format with stuff like White Binder flying around, but honestly, controlling the hand, wiping the board, extending until your opponent can't match your resources, it's insane, and I think it's going to be super key going forward.
Fantastic. Got any shout-outs for us?
Yeah, shout-outs to the Breaksword boys, shout-outs to Brock, Matt, shout-outs to Dylan, Drake, Tom, and Cheese. There's the Breaksword boys. They're all testing with me in the weeks leading up to States. Shout-outs to Ali for lending me his 3rd tract, because I'm not going to buy a 3rd QCR tract in this economy. It's insane. Shout out to Jesse for being present. Shout out to my locals. Shout out to Good Games. Shout out to Battle City, which we're sitting in right now. Shout out to Good Games Brisbane as well for hosting the event. And yeah.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.